I'm going to be reading from comments left on my first video I posted to this channel. Video is titled Past Lives Eternal Recurrence Theory, Past Lives Eternal Recurrence Theory, Paradox, Multiverse, Speculation, just my own thoughts and speculation about life, whatever. Derived energy. The constants you mentioned, the strength of the nuclear forces, the electromagnetic force, and gravity, do provide strong anecdotal evidence that a multiverse is descriptive of reality, but I'm agnostic on the issue. If there is an infinite number of universes, then that could well imply there's an infinite amount of suffering and happiness currently being experienced in reality. If that is the case, then what would render everything, including AN, futile, as well as any other moral endeavor? And my response was, without a someone there to record a history, then the concept of time, big bangs over and over again forever, eventually all those deterministic variables line up again. The best me brain thinks it can do is live this time around as best as it can. That might be oversimplistic, like Forrest Gump. Derived energy. What we take as our self is merely, as you say, the pattern of energy / matter that constitutes our bodies, configured in such a way as to manifest our own particular brand of sentience. If energy / matter is configured in exactly the same manner on another Earth in a different realm, then I think we would live precisely the same life again that we are living now. Needless to say, the odds of that occurring are staggeringly low, and it rests on assumptions about reality that we don't know. In another video, I proposed that by not having progeny passing your genes into the future, the staggeringly low chances of reoccurrence in a future re-emergence increases. This is very good for me, as I don't want to come back to this planet future timeline in a descendant. AN is insurance for that. Possibly? ? Derived energy. Just one last point. A multiverse doesn't mandate the quality of infinity. Entropy is a force to be reckoned with. The heat death of this universe looks odds on instead of a big crunch. Have a little faith. Everyone else seems to indulge in this curious and illogical thought habit after all. Smile. I'm out of my depth with cosmology. I'm just an interested layman, but I follow developments. Psychology is my strongest suit. Without a someone there to record a history, then the concept of time, big bangs over and over again forever. Quote, it's just speculation. If someone or a team had non-controversial demonstrated that beyond reasonable doubt, like E=mc² has been, then they would have been awarded not 1 but 10 Nobel Awards. We don't understand time. We don't truly understand space. We don't truly understand causation. We don't truly understand infinity. Don't agitate yourself so every time the I reforms. Quote. From a subjective point of view, which is the only thing we can experience, it would make no difference because there would be no memory identity transfer. From an objective perspective, I would just survey reality and see all these packets of energy matter needlessly striving through life for no good reason some of which I would see suffer more than others. Essentially, it's the universe that's hurting through us. We're just ephemeral little organic bubbles. Derived energy. There is so much we don't understand, and I would argue could never know. How could you ever verify infinity? Question mark. Perhaps by using deductive logical reasoning in order to uncover some underlying principle of reality and extrapolate from that. But deductive logical reasoning has weaknesses. Even inductive logical reasoning has a flaw somewhere. Why is there something rather than nothing? Quantum mechanics requires interpretation, and there are major areas of disagreement on this. Sentient life is a minuscule part of the universe, but a part nonetheless. There is a tendency in the West to see mankind as somehow separate from nature, but this is a delusion. Bits of the universe are in extremis. The universe is weird and ultimately beyond comprehension. It is ultimately not amenable to logic and reason. Not a hint of a rational and comprehensible reason can explain why there is something rather than nothing. You can argue that nothing is unstable, but if so, why? The constants you mentioned, the strength of the nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, and gravity do provide strong anecdotal evidence that a multiverse is descriptive of reality, but I'm agnostic on the issue. If there is an infinite number of universes, then that could well imply there's an infinite amount of suffering and happiness currently being experienced in reality. If that is the case, then what would render everything, including AN, futile, as well as any other moral endeavor? And then it repeats. Somehow comments repeat. But anyhow, thanks for listening. That's some of his commentary on my video. And if you want, I'll leave a link to the video. You can watch that. But since then, there's only one you. Right now, this you in the moment. And that's the only you will ever know, you will ever be. There will never be another you when you are gone. There is only one universe that we know of. It's fun, and it's an interesting path to follow along in speculation. I find myself, I speculate. I guess about things. I don't have, I try to connect the dots on this subject. So it's a difficult subject, especially for somebody that's converted over from believing in God to not believing in God. Trying to reconcile my own temporary position in the situation, in the scheme of things. But he had a conversation with me about it. It was my first video, and since I've made other videos about this, and it was just that I feel like this is appropriate to do that, and I liked him as a person. I appreciated his time, taking the time out to watch my video and give commentary on it. I always have respected his opinion on most matters in those areas, and that he put up quite a bit he had gone through many a battle with people in the comment section, especially. Even though his style of videos were they were lucid and he was being very logical. I like to see him talk more, and to see him, and he liked to dance, and he had a lot of, he liked Michael Jackson as a dancer, and it was unfair that he had to do what he had to go through what he had to go through. But so anyhow, rest in peace, Derived Energy.